Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. We have a fantastic merchandising webinar for you today. Plus, we have a couple of e-commerce rock stars to join us as special guests. And they're going to be diving deep into what I think is a critical area of merchandising that, quite frankly, many e-commerce stores often overlook, and that's the category page. That's right. I mean, we're gonna show you and share how you can turn more browsers into buyers by having better category pages. So specifically, what we're gonna do is give you some best practices and some real-life examples of great category pages and what you can do. Or more specifically, you're going to learn how to minimize the number of clicks it's going to take to get somebody from that browsing mode and into one of your products and hopefully buying. How to tune your category pages so that you are going to get those more, better conversion rates and higher sales. And how artificial intelligence personalizes your shopping experience and how it could do it in real time. Really powerful. Now, before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. All participants will be muted during our session today. We're going to be going for about 40-45 minutes in today's webinar. We will be recording the session, so you will get a link to the recording afterwards. And you're going to get a chance to ask questions too. So at any time during the session, if you have a question, click that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and ask your questions, and we'll make sure to get your questions at the end of the session. Now, my name is Bob Angus. I'll be your moderator today. I'm a strategic marketing consultant working with SLI. I'm an e-commerce evangelist. I love everything about great shopping experiences. And I've been fortunate enough to help merchants in my work at PayPal, Symantec, and Commission Junction. Plus, I was a contributing editor at Practical E-commerce. Now, I did mention we had a couple of e-commerce rock stars joining us today. Want to let you know we're going to be joined by Lauren Shaka from Loom Decor. She's the e-commerce marketing manager at Loom, and she's been driving online sales at various properties for the past 6 years and is a professed nerd for all things user experience, data analysis, and testing. Lauren, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Yeah, we're also joined by Lucy Tate, who is Regional Sales Director here at SLI Systems for the Asia Pacific region. And she's been working with SLI for the past 4 years, helping customers optimize their performance and increase e-commerce sales. Thanks for joining us, Lucy.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
Great. Well, so why are category pages so important? I think as a little bit of introduction, I mean, it's important to understand, like, the majority of your traffic oftentimes is the equivalent of that shopper in a store that's just browsing. They're looking, they're navigating, they don't have a specific idea in mind just yet. So it's important for you to have great category pages because that's oftentimes where they go first to, if they're not searching, they're going to a category page to get an idea of the products that they might want. So it's really important for you to accelerate the product discovery because that's going to accelerate the purchase path. But a common issue that a lot of e-commerce stores have is that navigation and category pages are often part of the design that's done up front. It's part of the theme that you set up, or the out of the box experience with your e-commerce platform. So you're approaching it as a designer at the beginning of the process, and kind of setting and often, if not done correctly, setting it and forgetting it. You really need to approach category pages just like you do search results and your product pages. You need to treat your category pages as if you were a merchandiser. So that's incredibly important. And now the cool thing here is you as SLI customers already have a ton of great behavioral data, transactional data, of course, search data that indicates what customers are most likely to buy and how they're behaving on your site. So the great thing is to accelerate that purchase path, you kind of already have a lot of the tools in place. You just need to give your category pages a little merchandising love. So today, I want to talk with Lauren first about her experience at Loom Decor, and actually just as a side note, Loom has just absolutely incredible items that are going to make your home look beautiful. In fact, this past weekend, literally, my wife and I were talking about our throw pillows need some love, and here we have Loom. I think you got a new customer, Lauren.
That is great. We can definitely help you with your pillow problem.
That's awesome. I will definitely take you up on that. So Lauren, I guess first, walk me through what was the situation with your category pages and navigation.
Sure. So just a little bit about our website. So Loom is an online retailer, and we offer custom home furnishings, mostly window treatments, also pillows, but we have over 400 fabrics and 40 different styles. So that's a lot of different product combinations. So we have lots and lots of products that can sometimes be really unwieldy and difficult to manage when you're merchandising. So that was kind of where we had started. We initially kind of started our search looking for a site search vendor because we were really having a difficult time getting the right results in front of customers for our very specific fabric names or our very specific product styles. We are on a Magenta Tube platform, and what we found was that it just was lacking in certain areas of search and navigation and merchandising specifically. We had a really easy time getting products into the categories, but then once they were there was no simple way to merchandise them in a way that made sense to the customer. It was a lot of behind-the-scenes Excel sheets and a lot of drag and drop, which really just wasn't efficient for our time.
Right. So that makes sense because you have so many product SKUs, and a lot of customers were shopping based on product options.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we kind of did was we took a step back and said, well, how do we want customers to shop the site, and what makes the most sense? What we found with the SLI learning navigation piece was that they made it much easier to kind of create categories based on the way that we knew customers wanted to shop. So we took some time before we implemented SLI to really look at our data and say, what are the categories that we have today, and what categories do we know are getting a lot of traffic that we know customers are shopping. Specifically our curtain styles, we have a lot of emphasis on the different styles of curtains, but typically when you're in the mindset of redecorating, you more have a color or an aesthetic or a pattern in mind, but our navigation didn't reflect that. So we were kind of putting the cart before the horse in our navigation. So before implementing SLI, we had some internal conversations to kind of say, you know, how do we reframe our data and reframe the experience to match what customers are expecting? So we were really able to use the faceted category creation that SLI offers to do categories based on material and color, patterned versus solid, which is really interesting when you're talking about window treatments. So we found that SLI gave us a lot more flexibility in creating categories based on attributes that we already had available in our data set.
Love it. So what were some of the results that you saw?
We've gotten, just internally, the team has been so excited to see the navigation in a way that makes sense to the customer, and also to make sense to the way that the customers are having the conversation. You know, we get calls of, I'm redecorating my living room and I'm looking for a solid white drapery, or here's, you know, I'm doing a theme and I'm looking for a geometric print Roman shade. So already getting really good feedback from just the team and the interactions that they're having with the customer. We've just implemented, but we are starting to see, just in the past month, a decrease in both our bounce rate and our exit rate, which is a great sign that whatever content is on those pages is a lot more engaging than what it was in the months prior. So we're excited to keep tuning and testing and adding new content and seeing how we can optimize those numbers.
That is awesome. Any other tips or advice that you'd like to share your other e-commerce friends in the audience?
Yeah, I think putting yourself in your customer's shoes and thinking about how they want to approach your website, how they want to shop your website. We definitely looked at the user experience. We also looked a lot at SEO and how does that page match the user's expectation when they land on that page, specifically for really big key phrases like our drapery and our pillows. You want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward and that the customer's comfortable and knows what to do next when they land on your website. So just keeping that kind of, putting yourself in their shoes and thinking about the kind of experience that you would expect when you land on a website.
I love it. I love it. And by the way, again, when I looked at my pillows as part of my research, I found some nice ones right away. So you again, fantastic job.
That makes me very happy. Thank you.
Great. Well, cool. So let's transition over and talk to Lucy. Lucy, you know, Lauren just talked about learning navigation and how it applied to Loom Decor's needs. You know, how does learning navigation automate merchandising for e-commerce sites?
Sure. So just how learning search automatically returns the most relevant products that people are most likely to buy right now on the search result pages. Learning navigation automatically shows the most relevant products on your category pages first. And this is all done by the machine learning, where the core way we just determine relevance is based on, you know, click-through rates, product data, conversions, and much more. Just to help explain machine learning a little bit, for example, if you're a fashion site and it's summer, you're going to have lighter, thinner material clothes towards the top of your result pages. However, in winter, as you come into that, you're going to start seeing darker colours and thicker materials start becoming more popular as your customers are interested in those products. So you'll start to see a shift in the results of these winter products now automatically re-merchandising their way to the top of the result pages. And what was clicked on today is deemed more relevant than what was clicked on a week ago. So essentially these learnings are being applied every day. Now I've got the Loom website up at the moment just to show this in action, and I'm just going to go down to the throw pillows category because there's thousands of products in this category, and it's almost like, well, which one would you show first? It's hard to manually figure out what would go first. So if I just show some hidden data at the end of this URL, I can bring up some red text that shows us the original position these products, these pillows would have been in. But because of our learnings on how the customer is searching and browsing and interacting with these category pages, we can see that products that were originally in, say, position 38 have now moved their way into position 5. So these learnings are automated, but also Lauren and her team have merchandising tools in the back end to mainly override it and promote products they wish to show first as well.
Yeah, that's great because, right, rather than just doing something by alphabetical or new products at the top first, you're actually learning what somebody's most likely to buy and adjusting accordingly.
Absolutely. And, you know, we also support our customers beyond that by using their data and our reports to optimize that automated algorithm to suit their business. So, for example, many of our customers, we take in stock information. So say if something's low in stock, we can demote those products automatically so that they're not taking the precious real estate at the top of the page. You know, if a product is new, we can boost that towards the top for, say, you know, a couple of weeks, and then let that product fall into its natural learned order. From my experience, our clients in fast fashion prefer to promote new items to the top, but, you know, clients maybe with more a static range would want to add custom logic to promote products with high margin or their own exclusive range. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's essential to have intelligence powering your category pages because on average, 90% of traffic to your website is browsing through these pages. So you want to make sure you're showing the people the products they're most likely to buy right now to turn these browsers into buyers. And, you know, I work with some of Australia's largest retailers in Australia and New Zealand, and I've never come across someone that's been able to do all of this manually. I've seen retailers, as you mentioned, Bob, still ordering category pages alphabetically or by newest first only. And so when they do that, it's a huge opportunity to bring intelligence over to your category pages to really increase those conversions by making that customer experience better.
That's great. Yeah, that really is important. It's treating it like solving a merchandising problem. Now, all the rage today is taking that merchandising to that next level and actually personalize it. So can you personalize a category page?
Yeah, you can. So we can personalize the search pages and the category pages in real time for a consistent site-wide experience and really relevant experience. So the results will change based on customer behaviour. So the products I'm seeing and are interested in are probably going to be different to what you're looking at, Bob, and what you're interested in. So on top of the highly relevant results, we're going to add a layer of personalization to the top of that. For example, now I've brought up Glue Store here. They're a fashion client, and personalizing the results can work really well in fashion. And Glue Store, who have been with us for about 5 years, recently deployed gender-based personalization. So previously, a customer, and I've got Adidas showing here, a customer looking at a unisex brand would be shown a range spanning from men's and women's wear. And this would be shown in the order of popularity and based on click-through rates and other data. But now our technology learns from their customers' actions, and we're able to personalize what we display based on what we've learned about their users. Now, their online customers are mostly female shoppers, so unisex pages often prioritise women's wear, but now they can quickly push up menswear when a male shopper is identified. So it's a huge win to reduce the number of steps customers take in order to find what they're looking for. So as an example, I'm on their Adidas brand learning navigation category page, and we're seeing a mixture of men's and women's products on the page. Now, if I click on this women's product, we now know that I'm probably more interested in women's products. And then if I were to go back to that brand page, there used to be men's products along the top here, but now women's have been boosted up on the page. Still a mixture of men's in there, but you can see how the system is changing in real time to cater for how I'm interacting with the search and the category pages.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really cool when, you know, that's just gender, but there's so many other ways to personalize the results for your customers. So you can personalize on brand, on category type, or say Loom, for example, might want to personalize on style if people have a particular affinity towards certain patterns or colors. So many ways you can personalize, and you know, you're all existing SLI clients, so you can work with your CSM to really look into your reporting and maybe identify ways that you can personalize your category pages and search pages further.
That's great. Yeah, I always think of the, you know, location is a key thing. Like, so right now, if somebody is on your category page looking at coats, so we'll stick with a fashion example, but you know, coats, if I'm clicking on it, not just as a male, but somebody who's in, you know, the north, you know, California where it's cold right now, that's very different if you're searching on coat or going to a coat when you're in Australia, because right now it's summer. So it's very warm there. So the results, just by just by knowing the IP address of who's on your page, that's an example of something that you could do to personalize in real time. That is super cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we also think about with search results pages, but also then of course category pages to help accelerate that process is filtering, or giving the visitor the capability to kind of take control of their refinements themselves, so that they could find what they want. Kind of almost advanced browsing. How does filtering work with learning navigation?
Sure. Well, you know, filtering, facets, refinements, there's so many names for it, but whatever you like to call it, there's an extremely important part of your category pages, not only for SEO, but they're there to really help get your clients or your customers to the products they're looking for as quickly as possible. And as long as we've got the information in your product feed you send us, we can build out a variety of filters that will help your customers. For example, we can do color swatches, which Loom has here. reviews, measurements, brands, sale items only, anything that's going to help a user refine a search. And these various filter options will appear on your category page when there are products in the results that are associated with these filters. For example, the black color option here will only show up on a category page as a filtering option if there are products in that category that are black. So you also have.
That's great. So you're not going to show any. You're not going to show any no results just because there's a category. It's an intelligent set of refinements available.
Exactly. It's so important, and you just want to show the most relevant filters at that time. Yeah, very, very important to keep it refined. And with these filters as well, you've also got manual control over them. So this is where our customers can jump in and easily control the way these filters appear on the category pages or even site-wide. So this is really handy and where our reporting comes in, because our reports can identify what facets or filters are most clicked on in your categories or not clicked on, and this is going to help you with your merchandising decisions. For example, this is just our demo backend console, but this is the list of the different filters that appear on your category pages and search pages site-wide. So you've got controls to reorder them the way they appear in, to potentially push the most clicked on refinements to the top, or, you know, if something's not clicked on, you can hide it and, you know, maybe make a decision around whether it's relevant or not and remove it. So that's a cool feature. And lastly, you know, we can also, for SEO purposes, control the amount of filtering combinations that are indexed on your category pages for SEO purposes, just to get a better ranking in Google and other search engines. But at the end of the day, filters are there to make it easier for customers to get to the products they're looking for as easily as possible.
I love it. Yeah, that is super helpful, and right, it's a great part of the shopping experience if done correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks, Lucy.
My pleasure. Hope that was helpful.
All right. Well, it is time to take some questions. And I know we have a couple that have already been asked, but I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. And, you know, we talked about Learning Nav, so certainly, again, you know, ask away any type of questions. Also, if you have anything about Site Search or Site Champion, any of the other products, feel free as well. So, and while you're filling that in, just a quick plug. If you didn't get enough good stuff on this session, I definitely recommend that you download an ebook that SLI has published, and it's got actually 56 best practices built into it about category pages and navigation. So you just have to go to http://bit.ly/navguide, and that will take you there. So while we're doing that, you know, definitely check that out. And yeah, let me go ahead and start asking some questions. Again, I mentioned we had a couple in. First is about SEO. Lucy, you could help me out with this. Can you speak to any SEO lift in traffic with Learning Navigation?
Yeah, absolutely. So Learning Navigation definitely does help with the SEO side of things and increasing traffic to your website through the category pages. So the Learning Navigation does this with relevancy. So by ensuring you have highly relevant products in your category pages, this in turn reduces bounce rate, increases time spent on the site, and this improves SEO quality of your pages. So Google and other search engines do like this. You know, you've also got the banner tool, so you can add further SEO content to the page, keeping it fresh. I know search engines like that. And the pages are built with SEO best practice in mind. So you've got the clean SEO-friendly URLs. You've also got tools to help you optimize the elements of the pages further if you wish and change those URLs. I could go on and on, but there's so many ways that the pages are built, and you can optimize them further to really increase traffic to the site. And you get the reporting console, so you can see month on month that traffic increasing.
That's great. Yeah, and yeah, like you said, Google loves a fast, fresh page, and one that's got all the meta tags dialed in correctly. So that's definitely good. Yeah. So there's a huge SEO benefit to this too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay. Got another question about testing. So yeah, can I A/B test my category pages, and if so, what elements?
Yeah, sure. So you can A/B test. We can A/B test anything on the category pages or even the search pages. So, you know, I've seen clients A/B test grid view versus list view, or infinite scrolling versus pagination, or you can even test different logic. You know, if you wanted to try out some business logic on top of the learning, such as, you know, demoting products with lower stock, you can try that out as well. So, and that A/B testing part of it, you can see it in your SLI console. So you can jump in and see which test is, you know, doing better than the other, and push live the change that's making you more money, I suppose.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. And I always think of one of the questions that I've always had merchandisers, you know, ask is, you know, should I promote like sale items, you know, and give them a little bit extra bump or not? And the answer is, I don't know. You should test.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't want to. You might be getting more sales, but they might be killing your margins. That's the logic there. But you know, the answer is you should probably test. So that's a good, I like that. Okay, so yes, so you could definitely do the A/B testing. Good question. Let's see, I'm just looking at the questions here. Oh, okay, yeah, so, and this is kind of related. Can I keep my own rules? So I guess right, you have your own merchandising logic, or do you just hand this over to the buyer engine and it does its thing? How does that work, Lucy?
Yeah. So, you know, some of our clients coming on board and wanting learning navigation, they do have some rules in place already. I would recommend to work with us and to maybe A/B test it just to make sure it's right, or just start off with the plain SLI machine learning, because essentially your customers are merchandising the pages for you, so you know they know what they want to see. But yeah, we can absolutely bring across every rule that you have. But yeah, I'd recommend to maybe test it and see if that is the right approach, or start off with just the SLI learning first, and then layer on your business logic rules on top of that. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, yeah, I always think of, you could have that pure, like you said, the customers are doing your merchandising. That's always going to end up the best way for them. But then you do, as merchandisers, have a lot of experience in the space. And so having that hybrid sometimes would work, yeah. So, okay, so it's not just, hey, everything's hands off the wheels, so to speak, but you really can have that element of control as well. Cool. Okay, it looks like there's one more question. Yeah, and you had touched on, and it's about personalization. You touched on personalization, Lucy. Does that also work with learning search? So yeah, can you personalize your site search results?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you can personalize your learning search, your site search results, and your category pages. And if you were doing your search pages, you'd want to do it on your category pages too, for that consistent experience site-wide. So yes.
Got it. Yeah. So right. So you could apply those facets. So let's say, right, in your category with learning navigation, you learn that you could personalize the around gender or location, like we talked about. You could apply that also to your search results pages. I guess also recommendations too, right?
And recommendations, yeah. So it all syncs up together.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. Well, Lucy, Lauren, thank you so much. This has been a super, super informative session, and lots of great information about learning navigation and how it's actually used in practice to increase conversion rates and help you out with merchandising. If you do have any questions about learning navigation, I highly recommend that you speak with your SLI representative, either your customer success manager or the sales manager, and they will be able to give you a more personalized demo of learning navigation. They'll definitely help you out quite a bit. And also, again, I highly recommend that you check out the big book of navigation tips. So with that, Lucy, again, thank you so much. Lauren, thank you so much.
Thanks, pleasure.
Cheers. All right, have a great day, everyone.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.